Welcome, sixth graders, to your pathfinder for today. We're going to be studying the Titanic. Most of your knowledge about the Titanic might come from a movie about star-crossed lovers and a missing necklace. However, the real story is much more dramatic than that. What really happened on that fateful night in April of 1912 is something that people are still talking about. So your job today is going to be to carefully research different aspects of that time period and present your findings to the class. You will be given certain questions to investigate. You must use all of the following sources at least once. You want to use our library, whether that's a book or one of the databases. You also have to use the public library, and I'll show you how to do that. You have to go to a government website, and that means that the website needs a .gov at the end. You have to look at an informative video, and you have to look at internet sites that are credible, which means they're good internet sites to study. So I'm going to walk around now and hand out the questions that you're going to be researching. All of you will have one of 6 categories, which are right there on the screen. So all of you are going to have different questions. You're going to start doing some digging. So I'm going to show you some examples of where you can go and what you can look for. Remember, you only need a minimum of 5, but more is always better. So if you were to use the databases or our books from here in the library, I've given you 2 links that you can go to. For any of our books, you're going to click here on Buoy, and it's going to take you to our database. You guys know what our database looks like. You know that you enter the book that you're looking for here and then search for whatever it is that you need, and it'll pull up your books. If you want to use a database, which you actually have to, click on Bears, and it will take you to where all of our databases are, which is right over here under Library Digital Resources. And you guys can go and search for whatever it is that you need in that way. So let's go back to the instructions. This is some of the stuff that might be pulled up as you start looking. Notice that these are books that we have, and you know how everything is arranged in nonfiction with the numbers. Notice that we also carry CD-ROMs. This one is a CD-ROM and a book. Here's a whole bunch of more books. Everything has to do with icebergs, Titanics. The Titanic distress symbol. We have ebooks online as well, and it'll show you it'll say that it is an ebook. These are some of our databases. We have quite a few databases. This is Britannica, and there's a section that says primary sources and ebooks, and I clicked on there and it pulled up a whole bunch of things. On that same database, you can pull up magazines. You can pull up something on another database called Maps 101, and it actually pulls up a picture of where all the sinking took place. There's something called ProQuest Sirs Discover. This showed me a whole bunch of newspapers, and there's even a World Book Encyclopedia that is specifically for students, and it had Titanic-related articles. Now, like I said, one of the things that you're going to have to do also is look at websites that have to do with, that come from government agencies. So a hint for you is when you go to Google, you can always type in Titanic and then a plus sign and put .gov, and the only things that it will pull up are government-related websites. So you'll see that I got the British site here because obviously it took place on the other side of the world. But there's different places from, universities, and everything shows .gov. This is not a university. It's a government agency. The other thing you need to do is go to internet. Now, instead of just going to Google and typing in Titanic and seeing what pulls up, when you're on one of the school databases like Britannica or World Book, there's actually a section that says websites, and that's what I did. I clicked on those websites because I knew that they would be school appropriate, and this is what pulled up. Again, some of the websites come from the British side of the world, but PBS, is obviously well known, and Encyclopedia Titanica is well known. Now you have to also go to the public library. So since we live in Fort Bend, you would be going to this particular website, and over here on the left it shows the catalog and how you would click on it and type in whatever it is that you need. Pardon me as I scroll back down. I went through the catalog and I looked up a whole bunch of things. It was very simple. I found quite a few books, like it says here. I found one CD that actually has voices of some of the witnesses and some of the survivors. I found a DVD that actually shows models that they put together of the ship itself so that we could kind of see a recreation of it. Very interesting. You're going to need reputable videos that you can go to. I went to Google and typed in Titanic plus educational videos. There's different ways of searching for videos, obviously. I got a YouTube one. This one took me to an educational video on Yahoo. You can see that this is, you know, a website that has to do with the Titanic completely. And this one actually brought me to National Geographic. So we know that that's credible. Okay, so now what? If you've answered all of the questions on your sheet and you've used at least 5 different sources, you're going to need to put all your information together in a short presentation. So instead of writing us a paper or making a poster, you actually have the choice to choose one of these programs to make a little presentation about your information. So you can use Sway, you can use Prezi, you can use Powtoon. If you find another presentation tool that you think you're maybe more comfortable with, maybe something on Google Docs, make sure that you talk with us first before you start on your presentation. Now your completed project is due on December 2nd. Now depending on if you choose one of the 3 that I've shown you there, we have specific instructions that we'll give you as far as how many slides and if we require music and that kind of thing. So we hope that you have a good time studying about the Titanic and learning about things that maybe you didn't realize the Titanic had.